Hello, early September 2025. Still here on Mother Earth, still watching the planets as they appear to travel around us, reflecting back what's going on Mother Earth. Focusing today on September and the two eclipses that will take place and how that is going to accentuate the ongoing crazy changes taking place on the planet, reflected by all of the outer planets, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, all changing signs this year. Massive transitions taking place as we are all knowing and experiencing. And Neptune Saturn conjunct in Aries is really accentuating the need for new beginnings and a new approach. Not returning back to the way things were, but looking forward. So in our own personal lives, a lot of new beginnings are taking place. We're seeing a lot of marriages, a lot of divorces. We're seeing a lot of new directional shifts in people's lives, often being forced upon them. Karmic shifts and changes. Homes, residents changing through deportation, often through forest fires. Extremes taking place on the planet. Started with Pluto shifting slowly into Aquarius. And of course, Pluto's been traveling very slowly in and out of Aquarius for the last 2 years. It fully entered in January at 1 degree of Aquarius, which is exactly where the cusp, the doorway is to Donald Trump's 6th house. So Pluto entered his 6th house as he became the president in January. And Pluto made it to 3 degrees earlier this year, and now he's retrograding back and is sitting at 1 degree. It's now right at the doorway of his 6th house. The 6th house is your health issues. It is your work environment and how you get along with the other people you work with. So power, Pluto, now in his 6th house. A lot of power tripping, a lot of manifestations of power and who he works with and in the environment of the White House, clearly. Interaction with other world leaders as well. But the health issues. We often see Pluto traveling through the 6th house when people have a regeneration in their health in terms of artificial limbs. Pluto is the planet of death and birth, so we may also see rumors or a focus on the fact that he is an old man and he is going to die at some point. In fact, the Leo in his nature may make a rather big deal about his own health issues if there are other things going on at the same time that he wants to draw the attention away from. But Pluto is in his 6th house, and right now it's at the doorway, and it's going to be there continuing for the next period of months. The last time Pluto was in early Aquarius was 1781. And the US of A was becoming. The major focus at that time was on the collection of colonies becoming a full country, and they were focusing on writing the Constitution during that period of time. So here we are again with Pluto in Aquarius, and there's a great deal of focus on the Constitution and the power of the Constitution, or the writing of it, or the rewriting of it, or whatever. Similar energy patterning going on. Aquarius is the sign of revolution, of freedom, and during the next period of 10 years, power to the people is part of the seed potential of Pluto being Aquarius. And so we may see more and more civil unrest in various countries as people demand their freedoms. Massive changes in consciousness taking place in the human society during this period of time. And all of this is going to be accentuated in a big way this month with the two eclipses that will take place. We have a lunar eclipse taking place in Pisces, and that's going to take place on the 7th, the 8th, at the time of the full moon. Closures, Eclipses always put a big focus on closures and new beginnings, things ending, often in a dramatic way, and forcing new beginnings. Historically, during the period of eclipses, ancient astrologers usually had concern for the king's health. Whoever was in charge, the dictators and the kings of the world, possibly need to take a little note and be careful when we are having eclipses. This would be the perspective hundreds of years ago. On the 7th, 8th, again, we're having a lunar eclipse, accentuating all of this change and this transformation. But it's on the 21st of September that we see the partial solar eclipse. And it's going to take place at the same time as the equinox, when the sun enters 0 degrees of Libra. When the sun is going to be, we see the day and the night of equal length. The autumn equinox, officially the end of summer and the beginning of autumn. And this takes place at the same time we are having the partial solar eclipse, and notably, this year, very unusual, Saturn and Neptune, this conjunction energy, will be opposite the sun at the time period of the equinox. It's also, of course, the time period of the eclipse. And it's going to, over a period of 3-4 days, we'll experience this. Highly notable as well, Mars will be entering Scorpio. Pluto is at the beginning of Aquarius, and there will be a square going on between these two planets, Mars and Pluto, the aggressive planets, the planets of war, the planets of extreme assertiveness. So these two planets will be square at the same time we have a partial solar eclipse and the equinox, which is taking place opposite Saturn. And all of this will be taking place between the 18th and the 21st. That's the square between Mars and Saturn. And it's on the 22nd that we are actually into the equinox. Extreme energies. So keep an eye on what's going on. When we look at Donald Trump's chart, we can't help but take note that the sun will be entering Libra in his financial house. This is where the sun will be sitting on the 21st, 22nd of September, opposite the Saturn-Neptune conjunct energy that is taking place in his 8th house. Where do you have Saturn and Neptune conjunct taking place in your chart? Which house is that conjunction sitting in? This is a very rare energy, and it's extreme. And your reality is to some degree dissolving, not quite as solid as it appeared. And for Donald Trump, that's between other people's money, house of death, and the house of other people's money and their resources, other countries' monies, and his personal monies. So there's a great deal of stress energy going on. For Donald Trump, it's all connected to do, no doubt, with the various tariff wars going on about money, potentially other issues too. He has many focuses on different places with financial concerns. His health, a great deal of power being expressed in strange ways in his work environment. Strange because Pluto's now in Aquarius. So if you can locate where this energy is taking place in your chart, this will give you a great deal of information as to what's going on in your own personal life. So take care and take note of what's going on between the 18th and the 21st of September